Good morning, everyone. Did you wake up today scrolling through your phone, only to see your social media feeds buzzing with wild rumors about stimulus checks? Well, grab your coffee because I got some big news to unpack. Overnight, something dramatic happened. President Trump's stimulus refund checks just got a massive boost that could mean thousands more dollars heading your way. Yep, you heard that right. But before you start planning that dream vacation or paying off your credit card, there's a catch. Not everyone's getting this windfall, and the rules have shifted in ways you might not expect. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, and today I'm diving deep into this breaking story. I spent all morning digging through official Treasury docs, policy memos, and insider chatter to bring you the real scoop. Because trust me, what I found is going to catch a lot of people off guard. So, let's get into it. Why did this happen so fast? Who's actually getting the cash? And how do you make sure you don't miss out? Buckle up. This is a wild ride. The big announcement. Picture this. It's late last night, way past most people's bedtime, and out of nowhere, President Trump steps up to a White House podium. In a short, no-frills speech that even threw his own team for a loop, he dropped a bombshell. We're juicing up the stimulus checks because hard-working Americans deserve a bigger break. That's the gist of it. No warning, no build-up, just boom! Here's the news. Sources say this came after a last-minute crunch of fresh economic numbers, showing inflation's been hammering families way harder than anyone thought. We're talking steeper grocery bills, skyrocketing rent, and gas prices that make you wince every time you fill up. Apparently, the data was so stark that Trump and his advisors decided to act fast, like midnight fast. But here's where it gets juicy. This isn't just a little tweak to the plan. The base payment's been hiked up by about 40% from what we were expecting, and there's a whole new layer of extra cash. Something they're calling economic impact supplements. That could seriously pad your payout. For a family of four that got the full amount before, this could mean an extra $2,400 on top of the original plan. That's not pocket change. The catch: new rules, new confusion. Now, hold up. Before you start counting those dollars, there's a twist. Unlike the last rounds where checks just showed up for most folks, this time it's not automatic for everyone who got paid before. The qualification game has changed, and it's already sparking chaos online. Scroll through X or Facebook, and you'll see people arguing over who's in and who's out. Half the posts are straight up wrong, and the other half are just guesses. So, let me cut through the noise with the facts. According to the Treasury Department's early morning release, hot off the press, the base payout's getting that 40% bump I mentioned, but the real game changer is those supplements, which depend on a few key things you need to know about. First up, your tax returns from last year are now front and center. They're using your 2023 numbers to figure out how much you'll get, and the income cutoffs have been raised. Single filers earning up to $95,000 and joint filers up to $190,000 could score at least part of this payout, way higher than the old limits. That's a lifeline for more middle-class families who were squeezed out before. But here's the kicker. The biggest bonuses are aimed at people whose income dropped between 2022 and 2023. Lost your job? Took a pay cut? Worked fewer hours? If your wallet took a hit, you might be in line for a fatter check. The idea is to target folks who've been clobbered by inflation the most. Sounds fair, right? Well, it's also where the confusion's coming from. Because if your situation's changed since your last filing, you've got some extra steps to take. More on that in a sec. Why now? The backstory. So why the sudden pivot? I talked to a couple of economic insiders today, and they pointed to those inflation numbers Trump mentioned. Consumer prices for stuff like housing and food have been climbing faster than the experts predicted, and it's left a lot of households stretched thin. The administration's argument is simple. People need more help pronto, but, and this is where it gets spicy, some analysts are whispering there's politics at play too. With midterm elections looming next year, a bigger check could be a shiny way to win over voters. Critics are calling it a calculated move to drum up goodwill, while Trump's camp is pushing back, saying, no, look at the data. Families are hurting and we're stepping up. Honestly, it's probably a bit of both. Inflation's real. My grocery bill's proof of that. But the timing's too convenient to ignore. Either way, It's got people talking, and small businesses are perking up too, hoping this cash infusion means more spending at their stores. When's the money coming? Okay, let's get practical. When can you expect this money to hit your account? Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, or whoever's in that chair now, said this morning that the first direct deposits could roll out as early as next week. Paper checks will lag about 10 days behind that. But there's a pecking order. If you filed your 2023 taxes and have direct deposits set up at the IRS, you're at the front of the line. Haven't updated your bank info or moved recently? You better hop on the IRS website ASAP to fix that, or you'll be waiting longer than you'd like. Oh, and one more thing. Those fancy supplemental payments, they're not all automatic. If your finances took a nosedive since your last return, like job loss or big medical bills, you'll need to apply through a special portal they're launching in the next 48 hours. Details are still trickling out, but I'll keep you posted as that goes live. Extra perks you might not know about. Here's something flying under the radar that most news outlets aren't shouting about yet. If you racked up certain expenses during the pandemic, like remote work setup costs, childcare when schools shut down, or uncovered COVID medical bills, you might snag even more cash. The administration's tacking on these bonuses to help folks who got hit hardest. So, dig out those receipts and start tracking what you spent. It could pay off. Financial gurus are already weighing in on what to do with the surprise money. Some say tackle high-interest debt first. Others are pushing for beefing up your rainy day fund, especially with the economy still wobbling. Me? I'd say it depends on where you're at. Pay off what's stressing you out, but keep some cushion too. The bigger picture. Zooming out, this isn't just about your bank account. It's got ripples to the whole economy. I chatted with a few economists today, and they're split. Some worry that pumping all this extra cash in could stoke inflation even more, making those high prices worse. Others think targeting it to struggling families could steady the ship, keeping people from falling off a financial cliff. Small business owners I know are crossing their fingers. Last time checks went out, their sales spiked, and they're hoping for round two. Then there's the elephant in the room, the national debt. Critics are screaming that this will balloon the deficit, while Trump's team says short-term relief trumps long-term worries right now. It's a classic D.C. showdown, and it's not going away anytime soon.